welcome. You're watching The Money Show. I'm Kavita Thapliyal, and this is the only personal finance window where we talk about everything related to your financial portfolio and your pocket also. Today, we'll be talking about your safety, your online safety. We'll be talking about the Ghibli trend and how is it interfering in your privacy, and everything related to that will be discussed on the show today. And we will also open the counter to get your mutual fund portfolio queries answered in the second half of the show. Just in case you have any question to ask, you can WhatsApp us your number on 8657974571, and you can also email us your question on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. All right, so we'll be flashing the WhatsApp number and email ID again on the show, but then let's move on. And today's special episode, we'll be diving into growing online trend that might look innocent and fun, but could have serious consequences for your privacy and data security, the Ghibli trend. While it's tempting to transform your photos into charming Studio Ghibli-inspired animations, this trend could be putting your personal information at risk. Now, many apps and websites offering these services may not be as secure as they seem, and in some cases, they might be exploiting your data without your knowledge. Privacy experts are raising alarms about how these apps and websites collect and store user data. From AI-powered editing tools to shady third-party platforms, the Ghibli trend could be exposing users to data theft, identity misuse, and even financial scams. And today's conversation, we dive deep into how these AI-powered tools work, what data they collect, and the real risk behind the trend. Should you be actually worried, and how can you protect yourself while still enjoying viral internet trends? We guide you on how to recognize the signs of a potential scam and take steps to protect your personal information. Let's begin. Hidden dangers behind the Ghibli trend and what you need to know to keep your personal information safe. I have with me Manas Tiwari, Technology Editor, Times Network, Rahul Tyagi, Co-founder, Safe Security. Good evening and welcome to the show, both of you. So let's start with a very basic question. And Manas, I'll start with you. I want to understand what kind of data do these apps actually collect when users upload their photos or videos?
See, in this case, Kavita, it's very, very simple. You are basically uploading your pictures. So it's the pictures that you are giving them. Now, a platform like OpenAI, obviously, they maintain that all of this data is secure and they do not use it in any other way. But historically, if you look at a platform like OpenAI, there have been multiple instances or controversies where they didn't have clear answer as to how the data is being processed and how much of this data is actually being used to train their platforms. In case of artificial intelligence, all of us know, and especially generative AI, everything that Gen AI can do has to be trained. So data has to be input for it to do anything. Now, in case of this whole Studio Ghibli trend that has also picked up, people are, uploading a lot of their personal images, are trying to convert them into these anime style pictures. And I don't think it's safe in any way. We have heard about a lot of these cases in the past where this data has been misused. OpenAI, I can give you one example. In fact, when in one of the interviews, OpenAI's CTO Meera Murati, when she was asked how OpenAI is actually training its models, she didn't have a clear answer to it, and she couldn't dodge the whole copyright thing as well. So there have been a lot of gray areas in the past. So, anything that you upload on any of these platforms, it can eventually be used to train these platforms. So that is where the whole gray area lies. Of course, every platform will maintain that, this is not being used. But at the end of the day, you have to understand all of these pictures are going on cloud. They are not being stored on device. So you're sending your stuff on cloud. So be careful. Whatever you upload, do it at your own risk. Make sure you do not share any images which have very personal moments.
Right. So it is right to say, Rahul, that these images, once uploaded, they are going to be stored for long or forever? Rahul?
That, to be honest, like if you read the privacy and concerns and terms and conditions of OpenAI, they clearly says that if you delete your account, then they will ensure that they will delete everything of yours in 30 days. But along with that line, they have clearly written that except we may retain a limited set of data for the longer where required or permitted by the law. Now, this line is not self-explanatory. Now, when you say limited set of data, they have not defined the meaning of that limited set of data, that what type of data they will be retaining.
So Rahul, the way we understand this, now these apps have hidden permissions that allow access to personal information beyond just photographs. Can we also say that now?
So I don't think so that there will be a certain hidden permissions we'll be giving unless and until it's a mobile application and taking your call records, so and so forth. As of now, ChatGPT has ensured the safety that they will not be looking anything else from your mobile phone. It's if you're using an application, but from a pictures very concern, I want everyone to understand when you upload any of your DP or any image of as a couple or whatever the way you want to upload. When now there is a concern, people say, what if there are a lot of photos of mine on Instagram or Facebook and they are in public domain? Why not company can take that and make misuse that? Definitely people can misuse that, but that can be used for generating fake videos of yours or deep fake, so on and so forth. But here when you upload any image to an LLM model or a deep learning model, there are certain parameters which they take from a single photo. I'll just give you one important aspect here. When you upload your DP having your face inside it, there are more than 68 landmarks which it captures. For example, 17 landmarks or points they will capture of your jawline. There will be 10 for your eyebrows, 12 of your eyes, and 9 of your nose, and 20 type of expressions from your lips. So these are the micro detailing of one face they will be feeding into the engine. And once that is done, then you can understand what level of detailing they have captured about your face. Now, once in future, if OpenAI got hacked and you have not deleted your chats, and if they are on your servers, people can then use that information to generate super realistic video of yours and then misuse that. Still, it's a long shot, but as of now, I think the best part is I tell user to avoid that. In case you want to create your own images, it's better that you use local host LLM models, and you can put it on your computer, generate an image, rather than using these companies
Okay.
LLM models
Okay.
online.
Okay. Okay. So, Manas, there is also a fear of, fake apps and websites coming up and, saying that, okay, we can make a Ghibli art for you. So now the risk over here also deepens. Why? Because now these apps could be selling user data to third parties, including advertisers or even malicious content. Can we also say this now, Manas?
Absolutely, absolutely. The first thing which I want to tell people from your medium, this whole trend of converting pictures into an anim or an animated style image, it's not new. There have been a lot of platforms that can actually do it. There are actual artists who also do it. Now, what I have seen in the last few days since this trend has also picked up, there are a lot of handles which have come on Instagram or social media who are saying that we will charge you 50 rupees, 70 rupees, and we will create an image like this. Some of these could be scam, and it's just 50 to 70 rupees. Maybe the amount does not sound that big, but somebody may scam you by promising you a lot more images, or might charge you a lot more for some of these pictures. So, which is one of the threats attached to it. Second thing, I'll add on to what Rahul said. See, when you are also capturing these images, there's a lot of metadata which is attached to these pictures. Let's say if I click a picture and I send it to your phone, you will still see the location where it was clicked, the timing at which it was clicked, a lot of other details are attached to those pictures. So those can also be accessed. And as you said, yes, we don't know whether this data will be sold to third-party advertisers, especially if you are not doing it through OpenAI, you are doing it through a third party or a third person. There are no guidelines. There is no watchdog. Nobody is looking at how this data is being processed and where it is being used. So obviously there is that threat of that data being misused. I think until and unless we have proper guidelines around how AI is being used, this threat is going to be there. Another issue is of copyright also. In this case, obviously the Studio Ghibli style trend has picked up, but what if I give a prompt saying put me in an episode of Shin-chan or put me in an episode of Flintstones? The model will still do a job, and it will still create an image which will match that style. So this is someone's years and years of hard work to bring those characters, bring those styles to life. And here there's a tool which can replicate it. So there's a genuine copyright and plagiarism issue there as well.
Hmm. Uh, uh, Rahul, now one point that you made earlier was about using the facial features and facial recognition, etc. Now, the thing about consent which people don't understand is now these apps are free to use such facial recognition database, right, without any more consent needed. You have voluntarily given away the consent, so this can be used without your knowledge as well. Is that right now?
So I think absolutely yes. Most of people who are the consumers of these kind of free chat, you can say services, they don't know about the terms and conditions. So I'll give you one more example, which I'm sure everyone can resonate with. So there is an option if you go to the setting of ChatGPT, and there is a thing known as training opt out. That means you want that you should not train on my data further. The funny thing is that if you stop ChatGPT to record your future conversation or retain your future data, they are okay with it. They will not retain that. But what happened to the last conversation which you have done? You cannot delete that unless and until you have a second method, which I will maybe tell later, that what is the right way of deleting everything from their server, and by sending them to a certain request, which usually people fail because they do not know. They think that if they will go and delete it from their account, the accounts will be deleted. But there are some other methods where you can raise a request to the privacy team of OpenAI and tell them to ensure that you delete everything from there.
Okay, since we are talking about scams and frauds, since we are talking on those lines now, Rahul, I also want to understand: there have been any AI photo apps incidents where it's been misused, or the data, the user's data has been misused? Any incident that you can recollect, or it's become very common, maybe?
So I think if you talk about a bigger players like Grok or OpenAI or Llama by Facebook or Gemini by Google, these companies at least have the from them they have put military grade of encryption, ensure that in case they got breached, still people will not be able to get the data. But the real challenge happens with the new player who are, there is a company who come up and they say, okay, you can generate text to video or text to image of yours, or upload the image and they will convert to Ghibli also. But from where that company is originated, there are a lot of countries where their you can say their military is trying to capture as much as possible images from the security forces from different countries by giving the application for free. And once you upload your images, nobody knows which this application is coming from which place, who is handling that, so on and so forth. So unlimited access, no bar. So their main motive for those applications, which are not the top end applications like OpenAI or Grok or other companies, but the real concern happens when a new company enters and nobody knows from where it is and everyone is start using it. So as of now, luckily we do not have any news where there is a company, there is this type of company has scaled to a level. Though they do these things to spear phishing, they target a set of military people and then they try to make them use that application. So from a segmented way, it is working. But I hope, I think that within the time you will see a lot of players who are having their own applications and nobody knows from where it come and everyone will start using it. They will misuse it for sure.
Right, right, right. So, Manas, although we are trying to help our viewers understand the safety concerns involved over here, but then we also don't want to ruin their fun and their excitement to follow a trend or maybe do something fun or entertainment related things on social media. So, how can users verify whether an app is safe before uploading their photographs? Manas, what privacy settings should users check before using such apps? And also, are there safer, more trusted alternatives for those who still want to try Ghibli effect?
See, first thing I'll say is that it's not the platform you should be worried about. It's the people.
Okay.
Because the platform may or may not use your images or your data. But there are a lot of people around who may use these tools and platforms to create or do something malicious with your data. In the past, also, I know Rahul said that there's not been a lot of such incidents, but all of us can recall the deepfake video of Rashmika Mandana or of Barack Obama, which were created by some malicious elements using some of these platforms. So even though OpenAI is not the enabler here, it's some of these platforms which are ensuring that. So yes, this is a threat. It's not as black and white as it may look. There's a lot of gray area here. Now coming to your point where you said how we can still have fun. So again, as I said in the beginning, at your own risk. So first of all, whatever platform you are using, be it OpenAI or any other platform, thoroughly go through their privacy section, read their guidelines, terms and conditions, how they are processing their data. I know it may look like a lot of work, but if you want to protect your data, you need to go through that. Then if you still trust that platform, only go ahead. Second, if there is still a platform which you have not heard about, if it's some random platform which you have come across through Instagram or through Facebook or through any other social media platform, try and not engage with that platform. At least try and not upload any personal data on it. In terms of alternatives, yes, there are a bunch of tools you can use. I mean, the easiest would probably be the Grok AI, which is inbuilt on X platform now, so you can use that to convert. There are a lot of other, tools like PixArt and all, which do some of these things on device. You can use Photoshop also. Might not be that quick, but you can use that as well. And I am 100% sure, looking at historic, like I mean, last 2 years of things have moved. Soon you will get some of these features built in on your phones as well. All these smartphone companies are watching this trend. They will introduce some new feature or two within your phone, where you'll be able to upload and convert these. I mean, there are already some filters that are there through which you can create different styles. Maybe not exactly Studio Ghibli, but other stuff. So you should wait and watch for that as well. That is going to happen. I think these are the only safeguards that you can ensure from your end. And just, I mean, again, as one final note, do not share anything sensitive. Be very, very mindful about it. Do not share pictures of kids. Try and avoid that if you're not comfortable, because you never know how they are going to be misused eventually.
Sure. One last question. And Rahul, earlier you spoke about, how you can go about deleting all your photographs or your data that you have shared. How can one do that?
So I think the easiest thing to do is go to privacy.openai.org. You will see 4 options there. One option is download my entire data. So imagine if
Okay.
your OpenAI account is hacked, anyone can download that data and then can misuse that. They don't need an access to OpenAI later. Second, you can also request to do not train on my content. That also you can take a request from this page. And the third one is delete my ChatGPT account. And the last and most important one is, even you have deleted your account, you can also say that do not do not take my personal data to train your model and make it universal for everyone. Because if I asked a certain question or I had a long conversation, they will try to understand the context behind it, and when someone in anywhere in the world will be asking the same question, they will be taking that context and answering that question. So privacy.openai.org is the page. You can go there and you can request them to delete it. Within 30 days they will delete it. And if you nudge them further that, okay, I want to know that you in your privacy terms and condition, you says after 30 days you will retain certain data. What is that type of data? Now, thanks to DPDP Act or GDPR globally, these companies are liable to answer you that detailing that what type of data they will be capturing and what data they will be retaining on their servers. And once you will ask them, they will definitely tell you, and then you can request them to delete that also.
All right, so it's very clear that, before jumping into any trend, it's very important for you to think twice. And even if you want to flow with it, just be very careful about the repercussions or the impact that this trend can have on your personal data safety and, in fact, your families as well. Thank you so much for being on the show today, both of you, helping our viewers with the side effect of this Ghibli trend. On that note, let's take a quick break. But on the Money Show, we are yet to, plan your mutual fund portfolio investments. So we'll be having Pankaj Matpal on board after this break, and then we'll be talking to our viewers live and sorting out their financial portfolio queries live.